Hey guys, I'm ZSH Plays. Welcome at last to the Planet Zoo Twilight Pack. Today we're going to look at all the new pieces, plants and of course animals in the new Planet Zoo Twilight Pack. But firstly, we have this new career scenario. And this is the first one we've had since the aquatic pack. There's a really nice map with a huge castle on top of a mountain. There's a lot of cool stuff in this zoo. There's loads of nice blueprints in the new pack which they've used to build this zoo. I'm not going to take you through every blueprint, but I will take you through every piece and everything new in the game. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to look at is the masonwork brick set. This on first glance looks like it could be really useful for building castles and things like that, as Frontier have done up there. Always good to get some more brick textures into the game. But what I really like is A, you've got these little imperfections on the brick, which is really cool, and B, it is Flexicolor. So we can choose any sort of bricks we like. So maybe we want more of a sort of British red brick look. You can change all the colours individually and even the mortar. And straight away, I mean, I could definitely choose a better red than that, but you can see how powerful it can be for building more different types of buildings than just castles. I think this is going to be a really useful piece to have. I can certainly see myself using this. But yeah, very powerful piece like that. Let's see what else we've got. Now, as well as all the grid pieces that you'd expect, there are loads of non-grid pieces in the masonwork set as well, so that you can basically make castles. You've got battlements, towers that have got their own stained glass windows already built in, all sorts of different roof tops and towers, spikes. We've got some more support beams. I think we've been using the temple support beams a hell of a lot ever since that pack came out, so it's great to have a new option which is a bit more it's lighter in the default colour and it's less sort of weathered, I think. And some of these pieces like this one and this one are going to be really useful in a whole different range of builds, not just building sort of spooky castles. I especially like this little piece here. This one's interesting. Any small pieces are always good for building loads of different types of stuff, rather than just the sort of theme that the pack is in. And then there's even more small pieces that go onto the walls themselves as well. So I've just thrown a load of those on here, but you can see we've got a lot more options in terms of decorations on the walls. This is a really nice piece. And we've got some trim for the walls as well. That is really nice. They all come in the standard sort of 1, 2 and 4 meters as well. So yeah, I think this is a really nice little set. Definitely be using some of these in a city zoo, I think. And finally for the main sets, we've got this shingle roof set. And again, this is really versatile. I think this is going to be a very popular piece. You could use it to make an old castle, you can use it to make a little villa on a Greek island, you can do pretty much whatever you like with shingle. You get all the pieces you would expect, and especially I really like this one. More of a castle-y piece than anything else, and even better, it's Flexicolor. So once again we can get some really nice, like I say, like a European villa kind of look. And yeah, really good set this. I was a bit worried when this pack was announced that it was going to be too themed, for my taste anyway. Obviously I know a load of people will be very excited to make a cool spooky zoo, but I am pretty pleased, having seen it now, that there's also going to be a lot of flexibility to do all sorts of different stuff with it. Let's move on to some of the other pieces in the new pack. Alright, on to the rest of the new building pieces. Firstly, we've got these huge gargoyles, which are pretty specific. Although I guess gargoyles are normally at the top of buildings, etc. So you could probably get away with using these on any sort of building like that. But they are pretty spookily themed. But I do really like the new reward statue, this Raccoon. That is a lot more generic. You can get that in a lot of places. And then these pieces here are separate wall. I don't know what they're called. Crenellations, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, again, ideal for spooky castles. We've got some stained glass windows here, which are really nice. I really like that. I think we could get a lot of use out of those. And away over here, we've got these glow-in-the-dark mushrooms, which I think would be really cool in like a children's zoo or something like that. Good variety of size, from the traditional enormous Planet Zoo prop down to some much smaller ones, which is cool. They could be like little seats for kids. And then we've got some jack-o'-lanterns as well, which are completely flexi-colour, and you can put lights inside them. And we've also got some braziers, which are, I think they're bats on the side of them, which is cool. But obviously, if they're further away, they'd look a lot less gothic. And the fire is flexi-colour, and I think that is really cool. You can do some great stuff with that. Next up, we got a new type of fence. I really like this. It is spooky when you look at it close up. But if you just have it in the background, I think that would be perfect for European zoos or anything that wants to give a sort of 18th century kind of flavour to it. We've got some gates as well, which is great. We need more gates in the game. And then there's some individual sort of spikes here as well. Fence posts, I think they're called. But yeah, I think that is a welcome addition to the game. We've got a door and window set here with loads of really small pieces, this tiny door handle, a lock, and a bracket. For some reason I feel like that bracket is going to be a very popular piece. I can see people making loads of cool stuff using like 4,000 of those. Some tiny wooden pieces as well, always useful, especially these little panels, and then some window frames in the background. And some additional window stuff here, and again, these little pieces are really nice, especially this one. Next up we have the signs, and I love the signs in this pack. They've used the sort of North American pack style, I think, of sort of hand-drawn, slightly cartoony but not too cartoony, that you can put in pretty much any zoo you like, and they'll always look good. Love these. Especially this little guy here. He's my favourite sign. I've used him already. And then we've got some paper mache animals as well. Bit more of a specific look. I think this will be like the conservation pack ones. You're either going to love them or hate them. I think they're pretty cute personally. I have no idea who this guy is. I think I've only ever played like the first career level. But apparently he's a character from the career, if you get a bit further in it than I did. There's also a whole load of glow-in-the-dark signs, which I think are going to be amazing for nocturnal houses. The bats, the moon, we've got some scary ones, some trees, and these eyes as well. They look really cool. Again, I've already used the bats. And the final signs are these stalactite signs, which I think are going to be so useful to use as backdrops for habitats, instead of having to make your own with the art pieces. Because they kind of look like mountains as well. I can definitely see myself using those. We've got these, which are emissive. Always good to have more emissive pieces in the game. And fully flexi-colour as well. And finally, we got some more small pieces, which again I think are going to be very popular. This chain is amazing. It's so small. I have already used that in the new zoo that I'm building. It's a very versatile piece. This again, great lantern with a little candle in it. A big sort of wall torch. Very cool. Oh, there's snakes. I just noticed that. Nice. And some more small wood pieces. And a few sort of brackets here. Overall, I think this is a really nice addition to the game. I think there's going to be a lot of use out of these pieces. Alright, let's move on and look at some of the new nature items that we've got in this pack. So we've got the bristlecone pine, which I've just used in the new episode of Planet Wild. They are really, really cool. And there's 4 branches as well, so you can customise them so they don't all have to look the same. But that is a really cool looking tree. We've got yew trees, which was an unexpected addition. 3 sizes of those. They look really good. I think that's a really versatile plant as well. Especially this one. There's a bigger one back here. Really nice, sort of interesting trunk. And this one as well. Going to be using those a lot. We got some new flowers. We got foxgloves. They'll be really good for like little forest glades and things like that. And 3 different colours. And we've got these lords and ladies plants. I have no idea what they are, but especially this one is really good for detailing. These ghost fungus, which glow in the dark, very nice. These autumn leaves, which are absolutely brilliant. Been sort of faking these with loads of other types of plant for ages, and it's good to just be able to drop them in. And finally, I almost forgot about these stalactites or stalagmites, can never remember which way round it is. Obviously you can use these for both, and what's really cool, you can see they are slightly shiny, like they're wet, as they would be IRL. So that is very cool indeed. That's all the nature stuff, and yeah, a lot more versatile than I was expecting. And finally, for the building pieces, a new path. We spotted this on Twitter a while ago, and yeah, it is really nice. Again, very versatile indeed. I'm already using this in my new zoo. And if you want a bit more sort of gothic, then the curb is almost like a sort of church spire kind of thing. And then some railings as well. And what I really like about the railings is they've made the posts, spikes, whatever you want to call them, less gothic than the other railings we were looking at earlier, which makes them more versatile. Again, good for a European city zoo and stuff like that. Alright, that's all the new pieces and paths, etc. in the game. Let's take a look at the new animals. So first up, we've got one of the animals I was most excited about, the raccoon. They are absolutely adorable. I found it so funny online and talking to my mates on Discord about raccoons, depending on where you are in the world, how excited or not you are to see them in the game. If you're American, I think people's attitude is, I can see these in my bins. And if you're in Europe, especially if you're in the UK where I am, where we have 0 raccoons, we are very excited indeed to finally get these animals in the game. But regardless, they look absolutely amazing. Models are brilliant, as you would expect. And there's also a new enrichment item for them, which I think is in the new update rather than in the Twilight Pack, so everyone gets that one, which is a little pumpkin ball, which is basically the standard coloured ball that's always been in the game, but redesigned to look like a pumpkin. It is very cool. So I wonder if this guy is gonna... No, he's not impressed with it, unfortunately. But that is a really cool addition to the game. And yeah, that's the raccoons. Let's move on and take a look at the skunks. Alright, so here we have the skunks. Another very cute new animal in the pack. Beautifully modelled as always. I love the way they just sort of trot about like this. They are very cute indeed. Definitely be doing some more stuff with these guys in the future, I think. And again, if you're in the UK or much of Europe, then we don't have them here. So it is an exciting animal to get into the zoo. Next up, we've got the red fox. What a gorgeous animal. This animal is very common in the UK where I am. Get them in my mum's garden sometimes, but they are just gorgeous and I am happy to have them in the game. I've got this one in a little alleyway in my new Moonlight World Zoo. I don't know if he's going to stay here, but he seems to be enjoying himself. And yeah, they are just absolutely gorgeous. And certainly in parts of the world where you don't get them in your back garden, I'm sure they'd be a really cool addition to a zoo. Although, to be honest, I'd be quite happy seeing one in a zoo in England, because when you see them in your garden, obviously you don't get to get very close to them, and he looks very cool just trotting about in this urban environment. And then we've got the wombats. I know pretty much nothing about wombats. They live in Australia, they're marsupials. That's about the end of my knowledge, but they are, again, very cute. They're the largest animal in the new pack. It's so good to have more small mammals in the game, because we need more of those for sure. I've never seen a wombat IRL. They'd make a very good addition to a nocturnal house. Let's check out my favourite animal in the new pack, the Egyptian fruit bat. And here they are. You can have up to, I think it's 35 in each exhibit box. And these are so powerful. This is the default, sorry, not the default, this is the Twilight Pack sort of gothic cave kind of effect one that comes as a blueprint. But you can make these mesh glass or even completely empty in terms of the walls and the sides, which means you can't even see there's a box. The bats just sort of live in one little place, which means you can make amazing things with them. I've just made a huge bat aviary, which I've had more fun making than anything I've made in Planet Zoo for a while. It was so cool, and if you want to check that out, I'll put the link to the video on the screen right now, and you can see how powerful these bat boxes are. But yeah, the bats themselves are brilliantly modelled and a lot of fun to watch. Probably my favourite animal in the pack, actually. And that's everything in the new Planet Zoo Twilight Pack. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.